What's going on, everybody? C4 here, and welcome back to another positional tier video. And I think this one here is going to be the most controversial out of all positions in the National Football League because there's so much parity and discrepancy for how people rate and value their corners. There's some people, a big segment, that truly just look at Pro Football Focus grades and say this is what determines corners, but what is completely valid is that Pro Football Focus, really, their ratings are kind of overvalued to slot corners. You see a lot of the guys when you look at like the top 10, top 15 corners, almost all of them like play in the slot if you've never heard of them. And I don't know if it's tackles. I don't know exactly how the ratings get skewed towards that way. But you know, you can't just, I don't think you can just use the Pro Football Focus grades for your rankings. And then also you have the other side that looks at the interceptions, the pass breakups, which never really tell the full story, because that could be a bad corner that's giving up a lot of plays, that, you know, bad coverage, and they're able just to make back and save their ass by getting a pass deflection, or, you know, they get in a bunch of fluky interceptions that weren't really, you know, more right place at the right time versus them being an absolute playmaker. So it is really tough, I think, to rank the corners. I think there's a lot of parity. So what we need to do is establish first and foremost that everyone on this list is good. We're not just like, if you're an F corner means you're absolute garbage and shouldn't be a starter. F corner is the, you know, worst of the best. You know what I'm saying? So as I like to start these videos out, I like to get an S and an F so you guys understand that the parameters of what we are working in. So for S tier, we're gonna go with the probably highest regarded corner, Pro Football Focus, and statistically speaking, he was very good. And we're going to put Stephon Gilmore of the New England Patriots. Last season, Gilmore was #1 rated by Pro Football Focus, 45 tackles, 2 interceptions, 20 pass breakups, was very, very crucial and a huge reason why that Patriots defense was able to stifle the Rams offense in the Super Bowl. He played very good throughout the playoffs. And then to find an F tier, we will put Greedy Williams here of the Browns. I thought he was the best corner in the draft. Very surprised to see him slip into the second round. I mean, corners, you know, wasn't a strong cornerback class by any means, but you know, he represents all the rookies that were selected high, and I think he is still the best of the bunch. So then jumping into the list, first up we have a Donte Jackson corner from the Tennessee Titans, and we're gonna put him right now at D tier. He's definitely trending in the right direction. Number 23 ranked corner from Pro Football Focus, 73 tackles, 2 interceptions, 10 pass breakups, plus has some good special teams ability, but still I need to see a little bit more for him to be moving up these tiers, as right now he's not a lockdown corner. And I think really to get up into high B's to A to S tier, you need to have that outside ability. Next up we have Jaire Alexander of the Green Bay Packers. Very good rookie season, so I'm going to put him here at D tier instead of F. I think when you look at Jaire, he's number 25 ranked corner from Pro Football Focus, had 11 pass breakups, 66 tackles, and a pick. For a team in Green Bay that is spending a lot of draft resources to improving that secondary, they hit a stud here out of Louisville in Jaire Alexander. And I think, again, if we're reviewing this halfway through, I guess it's context for everything, that, you know, if these guys that had good 1 years sees really the peak of these one-year wonder guys, you know, take it in halfway through the 2019-2020 season. If we did this halfway through, these guys might be moving up and down tiers because they have that next year of consistency and proven playmaking ability. So for right now, Jaire, after one good rookie season, he's going to go as a high D tier corner. We have AJ Bouye of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He will go C tier. He was Pro Football Focus, number 17 corner, at 8 pass breakups and an interception last year. A little bit of a down year for pretty much everyone on the Jacksonville Jaguars defense, but Bouye is still very good, and I feel like anything lower than a C would be too harsh against his play. We have Bryce Callahan, now a new member of the the Denver Broncos. Followed Vic Fangio from the Bears to the Denver Broncos. He was the number 9 Pro Football Focus corner. He is going to go, I'm going to put him D tier, man. It's because that nickel corner. These nickel corners get overvalued from Pro Football. He's a good corner. He's a good nickel. 2 interceptions, 6 pass breakups. But I just feel like, you know, if you're only ever going to be a pure nickel, and nickel is important in today's NFL. He's a very good nickel. But I feel like, you know, to move your way up to tiers, you have to be that guy that can go on an island and cover down and lock up the best wide receivers on the opposing teams. And I feel like Callahan's probably pigeonholed himself into just being a slot. However, a very good slot. We have Garyon Conley of the Raiders. He'll go F tier. I need to see a little bit more consistency, but wasn't terrible last season. 3 interceptions, 15 pass breakups. Took a little bit for John Gruden to get his trust to actually put him out there on the outside, and then when he did, he started playing very good, but we need to see more consistency for him to be able to move up these ratings. We have Ronald Darby of the Philadelphia Eagles. He's going F tier as well. I mean, F tier is like good starting corner. you know, they still could have potential, and I think that is the case for Ronald Darby. 43 tackles, 12 pass breakups, and only like 8 games last year. So his pass breakups would have been probably off the charts if he gave us a full 16. Philadelphia was able to re-sign him on a 1-year deal. You know, I think, again, pretty much everyone that I'm going to put here in F tier, most of them are trending in the right direction. So they should be able to go up. We have Pierre Desir of the Colts. I'm going to put him F tier. Again, one real big year. Number 15 ranked corner from Pro Football Focus. 8 pass breakups, 79 tackles, and a pick, trending in the right direction. Seems like a diamond in the rough found by Chris Ballard yet again. But come on, you find up the scrap heap. You play well for, you know, 2/3 of a season. Let's see if you can put together a full year, and then we can reevaluate if he can move up these rankings. We have Donte Jackson. I'm going to put him in D tier. As impressive as any of the rookie corners last season. 4 interceptions for the Carolina Panthers, 9 pass breakups on 74 tackles, and he brings elite speed. I think he's a guy that can develop as a very nice outside corner for the Panthers to pair with Bradbury. We have Kendall Fuller of the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm unfortunately going to put him in F tier just because I can't put any corner that was on a defense that was that bad as that Kansas City Chiefs defense much higher. Kendall Fuller, 2 interceptions, 12 pass breakups on 82 tackles last season. I mean, he's a solid corner. I don't necessarily know if his best place is going to be outside as a shutdown guy, inside as a nickel. That is yet to be seen. I don't know how they're going to continue to develop him in that Kansas City Chiefs defense. I think they got Spags now, Spagnuolo or something like that. He's going to be running the ship there. But still a nice corner. Definitely good enough to make the tier list video. We have Joe Haden. He's going to go F tier. Much as that pains me to say, Gator made. He is starting to slow down. That secondary for the Pittsburgh Steelers was inconsistent, to say the least. 63 tackles, 2 picks, 12 pass breakups for Joe Haden. Still serviceable, still a nice starter, but you know, he is definitely on the downswing of his career. We have Chris Harris Jr. from the Denver Broncos. I'm going to put him up here into A tier. Last season, he was number 3 ranked corner from Pro Football Focus. 49 tackles, 3 interceptions, 10 pass breakups. Now, you might say top 3 corners, shouldn't he be in S tier? Again, going to a guy that, you know, can play outside for sure, can also play inside. You know, he's fringe. He's been really good for quite some time. You know, he's kind of on the downswing of his career, though. He's getting up into the twilight. What's he, 28, 29? So, you know, he's going to slowly start to regress. He has peaked a little bit, but hey, anytime you peak as an A tier corner, I think you're doing pretty well for yourself. We have Casey Hayward of the Chargers. I'm going to put him up here into B tier. He was Pro Football Focus number 14 ranked corner. No interceptions, though. He's been really good for like the last 3 years. But the fact that you got no picks, I'm not going to be overvalued by your grade. You got no picks. You got to get a couple picks to move up these tiers. So for right now, I'm putting Hayward as a very strong B because over the last 2-3 years for the Chargers, he has been very, very good. We have Xavier Howard here of the Miami Dolphins, and I'm going to put him into A tier. Now, he's not like some Pro Football Focus darling. He's usually, you know, in the top 20 range, but the turnovers, last 2 years, he's been getting as many turnovers as any other corner. I'm going to reward that. I'm not going to put him S tier. You might be saying, oh, 7 picks. He's the best corner in football. You know, I think ultimately he's in that, you know, top 7, top 8 range. I don't think he's top 5 as you see the list go by. You know, his name is just alphabetical. He looks like right now he's the 3rd best corner, but you know, he's in that second group, the next best after the S tier. He got 7 picks last season. Also had 12 pass breakups. Got paid. I think he's the most expensive corner in football, which is kind of ridiculous setting the market, but it is what it is, and he's a nice playmaker on a playmaker light Miami Dolphins squad. Marlon Humphrey of the Ravens. I am gonna put Marlon Humphrey. He's going to go D tier. He's trending definitely in the right direction. Number 13 ranked corner from Pro Football Focus. 2 interceptions, 15 pass breakups. He's like very close. I was very close to actually putting him into C. He's just, it's kind of like, give me one more year. Let me see one more year of you know, being the leader of that defense, taking over for Jimmy Smith, and I can bump you up into C tier. We have William Jackson of the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm putting him F tier. A little bit of a down year last season for me. Number 22 ranked corner from Pro Football Focus. No interceptions, 13 pass breakups. I think he should be able to bounce back and get himself up into D tier. We have Janoris Jenkins of the Giants. This puts me, you know, the defense was so bad last year. He has to go F, even though I like him as a Gator. Probably the best corner I've ever seen play at Florida. For now, obviously, we're the unofficial DBU. There's always a couple good corners running through there. But Jenkins last year, 70 tackles, 15 pass breakups, 2 interceptions. But the defense, I mean, his stats look good, but that defense was really, really bad. He did not elevate his game to kind of, you know, retain that status as one of the smaller but shutdown type corners in the National Football League. If he does bounce back, we could start talking about him peaking, you know, C tier, B tier, somewhere in that range. But last year was not very good. You know, maybe if I'm being too overcritical, you could probably bump him into D tier. But for right now, just because you just think in general of a bad defense, you know, Jackrabbit should have stood up a little bit more and elevated the play. We have Byron Jones of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to take him. I'm going to put him in the C tier. 1 year wonder. His, you know, moving from safety to corner seems to be a more natural position for him. Graded out very well from Pro Football Focus. I think he was number 5, but it's a 1 year wonder. Until he can prove that level of consistency, I'm still going to put him higher out of some of these other guys that have better interception numbers, because he did play really well. I saw him play twice against the Philadelphia Eagles. And yes, he definitely is much more suited at a corner than safety. Surprise, surprise. That's where he should have been playing all along. But if you had one big year and, you know, other than that for your career, been inconsistent, or, you know, just, you know, haven't played, like you just had your breakout season, I feel for my tier list, C is about as high as you can go, unless it was simply outstanding. Then I could move you up into B tier. We have Kareem Jackson. That's a lie. That is Johnathan Joseph of the Houston Texans. I'm going to put him into B tier. He was number 10 ranked corner from Pro Football Focus. He's been playing at a very, very high level for quite some time. 58 tackles, 2 picks, 13 pass breakups. You know, yeah, I think B tier. Like I said, really nice corner there. We have Kareem Jackson, who's formerly of the Texans, now a member of the Denver Broncos. And we're going to put Kareem Jackson into C tier. Again, a little bit of a 1 year wonder. Very surprised that, you know, that he finally has a big year for the Texans. They don't pay him. I don't know if they tried to get him to take a hometown discount and it didn't work out. But Kareem Jackson last season was the number 4 ranked corner from Pro Football Focus. 87 tackles, 17 pass breakups, 2 picks. Very close to putting into B tier because those numbers were outstanding. But again, need to, you know, keep the blinders on and focus on 1 year. If you have one big year, about C is your ceiling. We have Des King of the Chargers. He's gonna go C tier. He was the number 2 ranked corner for Pro Football Focus. Again, this is where I start to see like the ratings usually skew towards the nickel corners, which I don't want to undervalue the position. It's a very valuable position, but for Des King, number 2, that is obviously huge. But one year wonder in regards to being that highly rated and regarded as a corner. So we'll have him at C. 3 interceptions, 10 pass breakups last season. We have Kyle Fuller of the Chicago Bears. And I'm going to put Kyle Fuller, he's going to just sneak into A tier. I think he's a hybrid between A and B. Lots of turnovers last season. Was the number 7 corner from Pro Football Focus. 7 interceptions, 21 pass breakups. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how he transitions now, not in a Vic Fangio defense, and if he can stand out on his own. We have Marshon Lattimore of the New Orleans Saints, number 20 ranked corner from Pro Football Focus. I'm going to put him into C tier. Really nice corner. Slight sophomore slump because his rookie year was one of the greatest rookie years for a corner ever. Last season, you know, sometimes he got beat, looked a little bit out of place, but still overall was a very good corner. 2 interceptions, 12 pass breakups. Also had 4 forced fumbles, so kudos to that. So he is a high C tier, low B tier type corner. But for right now, we'll keep him at C. We have Jason McCourty of the New England Patriots. Huge year last season. Inconsistent to end his career with the Tennessee Titans. Then went to the Browns. I mean, if you go based off Pro Football Focus and stuff like that, he's probably B. For me, he's a hybrid between B and C. He can fluctuate. I'll just put him at C for now. Last season, 1 interception, 10 pass breakups, was the number 6 corner from Pro Football Focus. We have Josh Norman of the Washington Redskins, 3 interceptions, 8 pass breakups, 3 forced fumbles last year. I'll put Norman. Again, I'll put Norman C tier. I mean, he did get benched. His stats play better and look better than how he actually played last season. But given the fact that, you know, over the years he was S tier, then moving down to A, I feel like C is about as far as he should regress at this point. We have Marcus Peters of the Rams. He will go D tier. One of those guys. I'm a big fan of Marcus Peters, but my God, he's like, he either gets a pick or you're burning him. There's no in between, and I just kind of hope he'd get a more level of consistency moving from the Chiefs to the Rams. Haven't quite seen that yet. Last season, 3 interceptions, 8 pass breakups. I just want to see more consistency to his game, man. And I think he has a ceiling of like a B tier type corner, maybe even A tier, because he is a ball hawk. But I want to see that consistency that we just haven't seen in quite some time. We have Patrick Peterson. I'm going to put him into A tier. Number 8 corner from Pro Football Focus, 54 tackles, 2 interceptions, 5 pass breakups. Also was on the juice. So I don't know if I should negatively affect that and put him down into B tier, but I mean, he's a guy that I have kind of shit on throughout the past on the channel, and I'll hear you guys right now. He'll go A tier. Jalen Ramsey, S tier. Even though a little bit of a down year, everyone on that Rams, or Rams, what am I even talking about? Everyone on that Jaguars team kind of had a down year. For me, for my money, Jalen Ramsey's still the best corner in football from a talent standpoint. 65 tackles, 3 picks, 13 pass breakups last year. They're all going to bounce back. Ramsey is as good, I think, as anyone in the secondary position in the National Football League, be it corner or safety. We have Xavier Rhodes from the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to put Rhodes into D tier. Did not look very good last season. Again, almost kind of like an inverse of what they were a year ago. I mean, their defense was not very good last season. Their offense had to step it up and kind of carry the load versus 2 years ago where they had some big playmakers on the offense, but it was the defense that was carrying the load when Case Keenum was the quarterback. Xavier Rhodes, 47 tackles, a pick, and 7 pass breakups. I don't know if he wasn't playing at 100%. I felt like he was banged up quite a bit last season, but wasn't a good year for him. We have Richard Sherman of the San Francisco 49ers. He'll go D tier as well. A little bit of a down year. 37 tackles, no interceptions, 4 pass breakups. He was like in the 50s or something like that for Pro Football Focus. Just wasn't, I don't know if it's a scheme. He's not a scheme fit. A little bit exposed. Still a solid corner, but wasn't a great year. Coming off a horrendous year. Need a bounce back alongside, Xavier Rhodes and Marcus Peters for sure. That can get bumped up the rankings. We have Darius Slay from the Detroit Lions. I'm putting him S tier. I think he's one of the best corners in football. Doesn't grade out exceptionally well from Pro Football Focus. I think he was top 15 in that range. 43 tackles, 3 interceptions, 17 pass breakups. He's just all over the field. He's the kind of guy that just lives around the football. That's the kind of corner that I truly value, more so than just getting blinded by Pro Football Focus grades. We have Aqib Talib. He'll go D tier. Again, it was banged up last season. 23 tackles, an interception, 5 pass breakups. He is what he is at this point in his career. Definitely on the downswing, but still a solid corner. We have Trey White of the Buffalo Bills. I'll put Trey White, I'll put him C tier. I think he is really solid. 54 tackles, 2 interceptions, 8 pass breakups. Had as good of a rookie season as Marshon Lattimore did, just didn't get the acclaim. It had as slightly worse sophomore season as Marshon Lattimore did. So I think Trey White's a low C tier right now. We have Desmond Trufant. I'm going to put Desmond Trufant. He'll go D tier. Needs in this group of guys that, historically over the last 4 or 5 years have been one of the top corners. He's one of the top press corners. Just wasn't a great year last season. Didn't grade out well from Pro Football Focus. 66 tackles, no interceptions, 12 pass breakups. Needs a bounce back year, but we'll throw it up to the fact that literally everyone good else around him on that defense was gone, and KZ probably got a couple of his picks. We have Jermaine Johnson of the New York Jets, number 19 ranked corner from Pro Football Focus, 4 interceptions, 5 pass breakups last season. So he'll go right here into C tier. Got paid a lot of money to come over from the Rams, but I think he actually is a slightly underrated corner because everyone just looks at the Jets and go, well, Jets just kind of suck. And then finishing up, we have Denzel Ward of the Cleveland Browns, and he will go C tier. That's probably as high as you can get for a one-year wonder for a rookie, but he was very good as a rookie. Number 12 ranked corner from Pro Football Focus, 53 tackles, 3 interceptions, 11 pass breakups, and he's one of those prime candidates, I think, out of anyone on this list that if we did this halfway through the next upcoming season, he could be one of the best young players up here in B, A tier in that range. So there you go, guys. Those are my cornerback rankings. I'm sure this is going to be maybe the most criticized video that we've done so far for positional rankings because literally everyone thinks their corners are good. And then it's either that side of where these guys have way better stats, why are they D and F? Or these guys are way better in Pro Football Focus, why are they C, D, and F? There's no real middle ground, so to sift through it, it's pretty difficult, but I hope you guys did agree. But either way, I like the discourse in the comments. As always, your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button if you enjoyed. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace.